Alright guys, so imagine loading up Medieval 2 Total War, and instead of the cozy, familiar map of Europe, the game hands you the entire world. That is the Eras Total Conquest mod in a nutshell. You've got 4 custom-made maps, 12 campaigns, 6 centuries of chaos to wade through, from Viking raids and crusades to Mongol invasions and world-spanning empires. One minute you're commanding knights in chainmail, the next you're sending caravels across the Atlantic or marching musketeers through China. It's absolutely wild, and somehow it all works. So in this video, I'm gonna run through everything you need to know about this mod and why you need to check it out next for an amazing time on Medieval 2 Total War. Now, before we dive straight in, if you don't own the game or any of the Total Wars, you can pick them up with a massive discount right now on Instant Gaming. You can also get Paradox games like CK3 or EU4, you can get Mount and Blade Bannerlord, and more, much more, with up to 89% off, which is huge. So if you're thinking about buying Medieval 2 or any of these games, make sure to click the link below to get them for cheap and support the channel at the same time. Now let's get back to the video. Starting with the smaller campaigns in Eras Total Conquest, these are like snapshots of history, each one throwing you straight into a different flavor of medieval madness. The early ones, 970 AD and 1080 AD, feel raw and desperate. You're working with rough armies, tiny kingdoms, and neighbors who all want your land. Vikings are still pillaging the north, France is a feudal mess, and England's trying to survive one invasion after another. Then things really start to pick up steam around 1220 AD with the Crusades, where Europe, the Middle East, Africa, and India all collide in a storm of holy wars and betrayals. Jumping ahead 10 years to the 1230 AD campaign, and the Mongols thunder in from the east like a force of nature, flattening entire civilizations in just a few turns. It's fast, brutal, and easily one of the most chaotic campaigns you can play. By the time you reach the 1331 and 1453 campaigns, the old medieval world is in full collapse, and gunpowder is starting to take over. The 1453 fall of Constantinople era specifically is peak drama. Byzantium is on its last legs, the Ottomans are rolling up with cannons the size of small houses, and Europe's political map is shifting like sand in a storm. And then there's the 1500 AD Conquer the New World campaign, where you finally start seeing explorers, colonial ports, and trade empires. All of these smaller, mid-tier campaigns are great for shorter runs, still big, still full of flavor, but focused enough that you don't get lost in the sheer scale of it all. And then, of course, you hit the 1547 AD campaign, the monster, the world map, the reason everyone plays this mod. And it covers absolutely everything. You've got the Americas here, Europe, Africa, the Middle East, India, and all of Asia all at once. It is absurdly big, and that's exactly what makes it so much fun. You can play as Spain with a foothold in the New World, as the Ottomans spreading across Europe like wildfire, or as the Ming Dynasty trying to hold back Western colonizers. You can even start as Japan, taking over China, pushing west across Asia, rolling over the Ottomans, and eventually sailing across the Atlantic to challenge the European empires on their own turf. Every corner of the map feels alive. Europe's packed with rival states fighting over trade and religion. The Americas are wide open for conquest, and Asia is brimming with massive empires just waiting to collide. The campaign balance actually holds up surprisingly well too, thanks to the recent 2.3.7 update that cleaned up a ton of old issues with economy, public order, and stability. You can build an empire that spans entire continents, fight in different climates, and manage trade routes that stretch from London to Kyoto. It's ridiculous in scope, but also amazingly playable, and the longer you go, the more the campaign starts to feel like your own personal version of world history. And that is really why it plays so well. The 1547 campaign is the ultimate Total War sandbox, the kind of experience Empire Total War was aiming for but never fully nailed. Here, you actually feel the weight of running a true global empire, the trade routes, the colonial expansion, the endless wars across multiple continents. It all ties together in a way that feels raw and satisfying. The Americas aren't just an afterthought, they're much bigger than the vanilla sliver of North America that we get. They're part of the same living world that includes Europe, Africa, and Asia. You can march your armies through India, sail across the Atlantic, and watch your banners rise over both hemispheres. It captures that grand, world-spanning scale that Empire promised, but filters it through this gritty, hands-on chaos of Medieval 2. And then of course there are the battles, which are exactly what I was hoping for from a mod that spans half a millennium, messy, varied, and absolutely brilliant. Because the campaign covers such a huge chunk of history, your armies evolve right alongside the eras you play. In the early start dates, it's all about heavy cavalry charges, shield walls, and gritty melee slugfests. You'll see Viking warbands smashing into Saxon spearmen, Crusader knights trampling across desert against Arab lines. Then, as the years roll on, the battlefield slowly transforms. And of course, by the time you hit the Renaissance and the New World campaigns, cannons are blasting apart fortifications, musketeers are trading volleys, and pike squares are holding the line like it's Total War Empire's angrier medieval cousin. Each faction feels very different to play, not just in units but in personality as well. Playing as the Mongols means lightning-fast cavalry swarms that circle and annihilate slower armies. The Ottomans bring disciplined gunpowder troops and brutal siege weapons. Spain fields powerful pike infantry and a navy that can control the seas. Japan's armies are full of accuracy and balance with samurai infantry, matchlock gunners, and more. Every battle tells a little story about where your faction sits in this era, whether you're fighting like a feudal warlord or commanding a modern empire just learning how to handle the new gunpowder technology. And the best part of all of this, by far, is how wild some of the battle matchups can be. You can have Japanese musketeers going up against Aztec warriors, Ottoman janissaries clashing with English longbowmen, or Mongol lancers tearing through Renaissance pikes. It's pure chaos, but in the best way possible. The sheer variety of units keeping every fight interesting, and the old Medieval 2 engine, for all its limits and unpredictability, still holds up beautifully under that kind of pressure. Massive armies, siege towers rolling forward, cavalry hammering into flanks. It is cinematic, it's heavy, and it's exactly what you want from a world-spanning Total War. So overall, I would say Eras Total Conquest is one of those mods that makes you sit back and think, wow, imagine if Creative Assembly actually made something like this for real. It's rough around the edges, sure, the old Medieval 2 engine creaks under the weight of everything it's trying to do, but it actually works. You've got a full world map, functioning trade, unique unit rosters, and a believable progression from medieval warfare to the dawn of gunpowder. For me, also playing it makes me wish we had a more modern version of this, maybe on a Medieval 2 remastered, which would be an absolute dream. The potential for a totally unlimited, unlocked mod on a remastered Medieval 2, the massive scope, evolving armies, global trade, and that sense of historical transformation that the series used to capture so well is absolutely here. Every time the camera pans across that world map, you cannot help but think how incredible it would be to see it rebuilt on a newer engine with a modern AI, naval battles, and dynamic campaigns that match the scale this mod reaches for. Until that day comes though, Eras Total Conquest fills that gap, I think, better than anything else available. It's clunky, it's strange, it's definitely not perfect, but it's also one of the most ambitious and rewarding Total War experiences you can play out there. It gives you a chance to experience your own version of global history, to carve out an empire from nothing, and to see just how far Medieval 2 can be pushed. It's proof that even an old game can still surprise you, and it leaves you wishing Creative Assembly would take notes and finally give us that world Total War we've been dreaming about for years. Either way, I really hope you enjoyed this video and found it informative, and if you don't own Medieval 2 Total War, then get it right now on a massive discount using my instant gaming link below. Let me know what you think of the Eras Conquest mod on Medieval 2 in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel for more videos just like this, and thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.